What's up guys and welcome back to On the Brick with another minifig showcase, and welcome to AV Figures April. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button as I post a new minifigure every single Sunday. And like to leave hints as to what next week's will be. For instance, Viper correctly guessed that today would be Appo. And more specifically, this is his Clone Wars appearance. Now this is a printed minifigure from AV Figures. Again, I believe the helmet is decaled, but the body itself is printed and it looks amazing. Now there are some extremely minor aspects that do make it quite clearly different than somewhere like Clone Army Customs, but you would really have to be looking for it. And I don't mean in design. Obviously the design here is different than what you would get from CAC, but I mean in the quality of the prints themselves. This is about 99.5% perfect, but you might just notice right on the edges the printing doesn't go all the way, leaving some white gaps. It's pretty small, and on the actual figure itself you don't really tend to notice it, but the last thing I'm going to do is say that it takes away from Appo at all, as it quite honestly doesn't. This is still one of the better printed minifigs that I have. The design is pretty simple. It is just a 501st body. If you have had any 501st body from anyone, well, it's gonna look pretty much the same. And I really do like the design that AV goes with here. The different color shadings really do help different aspects pop out, and it looks really good. It's not too overwhelming, but it's also not flat and boring either. This is pretty much just perfect. And one huge aspect that I always love about AV Figures, and it's something that Clone Army Customs has only started to do, is the wraparound printing on the arms. It really makes the guy look complete. I know a lot of people love 180-degree printing or decals because it looks more Lego-like, but when I see something like this, I just can't go back to that. This looks so much better in my opinion. Now, that's not to say that if you like 180 there's anything wrong with it. Absolutely not. You can like what you like. Now, as a test of the quality, I wanted to show this back angle here of the legs. You can see the printing lines up almost perfectly. It's about 99.9% perfectly aligned here, which in my opinion is, fine. There's not really much more you can do better than that. But I wanted to show you this so you can see just how good AV Figures printing really is. The one in the middle is Appo. That is the same minifig. The one on the left is a misprinted minifig from AV Figures. This supposedly has bad printing on it, but you can see that it's still perfectly aligned. In fact, the printing on the misprinted guy is perfect pretty much everywhere, actually. And the guy on the right is a not misprinted minifig from Fig Fab Labs. Seriously, this guy said that this was acceptable. I know I've brought this up like 4 different times already, but seriously, Fig Fab Labs, that is absolutely disgusting to say that's okay. If for the rest of you, don't waste your money there. Spend the extra money to go somewhere like CAC or AV Figures. It's so much more worth it. Anyway, going back to Appo himself, what makes him Appo is the unique helmet. Like I said, this is his Clone Wars appearance with the arrow, and if you didn't know, that's actually where he gets his name from. Appo is named after Appa from Avatar: The Last Airbender, one of my favorite TV shows, and that's also why I like this guy. Appo does show up in Revenge of the Sith as well, just without the arrow, because at that time, clones really didn't have different personalities. However, this helmet is also one of AV Figures' custom molds, and I think it looks amazing. While I love CAC's RP2 look, this style of helmet is really starting to warm up to me a lot more and might actually be my favorite. So with all that praise said, there are 2 big downsides. First, Appo is just no longer available on AV's website apparently. I looked because I always try to put a link in the description, but it's just not there. You can buy the decals yourself, but the printed version is just non-existent anymore apparently. And if I'm wrong, someone will point it out in the comments. But 2, and the really big downside, is that AV's printed minifigures are on the expensive side here. Once again, they don't have the mass manufacturing as a place like Clone Army Customs, so the price is a little more expensive. And on top of that, since they are decaling the helmets, that is extra cost on top of it. If you want just the printed body, it's still only like $20, and then the helmet added on top of that makes it like $34, which is a little ridiculous in my opinion, but oh well. If anything, you can always just buy the body here and then get the $4 helmet from Clone Army Customs. And for next week, well, let's just say, if I wanted to get hair on my back permanently removed, this is the type of person I would go to. I have no idea if that makes any sense. But thank you all so much for watching. Please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe as it helps out the channel a whole ton. And if you want to support it even further, you can always check out my Patreon, where I'm trying to post more, and you can get awesome shoutouts like everyone on screen and Jonathan. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.